Hi, my name is Hunter, and my brand that I designed is Peace Cookies. My brief consisted of getting to know the Peace Cookies brand and how they wanted to add a new twist to fortune cookies and make them not only taste great, but still keep that amazing set of messages that inspire. They wanted to keep this Pantone purple tone throughout the logo and also just push this to the millennial and new age movement crowd mainly. They look to keep their fortune cookies fun and spiritual while still keeping the Chinese American influence fused with a new age movement to it. Although this brand can be catered to all that love fortune cookies, it aims to stick to an urban setting and keep the same thoughtfulness featured in many Chinese American restaurants across the world. So for my set of sample customers, I have Kim Maddox, who is a restaurateur that's very tradition based and utilizes fortune cookies to breathe life into her business at the end of a meal. She wants to keep that same tradition, but also elevate the taste and messages in it. Next, I have Randall Stevens, who can use our product at the end of or before his fitness instructions that will ultimately lift up his clients. And due to his background being in Colorado, he has always wanted to contribute to making people's lives feel better overall. Next is Elizabeth Waters, who is a doctor that wants to have a healthy but mood shifting alternative to giving lollipops to her patients after treating them. So she uses these instead. Being that she's constantly in a state of wanting to help, this product more than fills the gap. Lastly is Stephen Toussaint, who is a surfing instructor with years of experience and can utilize our product in the same way as Randall can and give them out as a motivational piece. My inspirations for my logo and brand design is a very vintage retro look that keeps that nostalgia factor for the demographic it's aiming for. I keep vibrant colors in here, and using retro type can just make this feel super new age and also bring that Chinese American design style into this as well. My competitors' logos are mainly in the regular cookie selling business, with using just regular cookies as the standout point and feeling very plain. The biggest integrating one is from Crumble with the baker within the logo, while also telling it is a cookie business. Overall, there's not a lot of fortune cookie selling businesses that can market as their own business, but these logos are examples of what they might look like. So here for my displayed fonts, I went with a very simple sans serif set of types that can have big variations in sizing and can be read from super up close or far away. Even the odd ones like Input Mono can make the business feel super retro with its old style look, and ones like Bilo can even just simplify the whole thing by making the other parts of the business stand out first. Here I ended up going with three of the fonts in my display fonts due to their variability that can be read in paragraphs and body text. I chose Input Mono and Rock Grotesque and New Hero. Rock and New Hero have a very new age Helvetica feel to it, and it's a nice change from what is usually out there and can be used in any context. My thought process throughout all these sketches were to create a logo that utilized the P for peace and make it into a whole logo. I realized throughout the sketching that I might just want to go with a mascot, and that's where I went with number 2, 8, and 9. These were very simple in nature and still didn't have the full vision yet, but they all encapsulate the peace look throughout. Here's where I did variations of the second logo, and eventually one of these would become the final logo. I wanted to use the fortune cookie shape as a mascot, and that's why all of these are shaped in that fortune cookie style. I wanted to use a rubber hose art style for some of them and then just see the logo in a different perspective. Here in these variations, I did a mascot play on the peace logo and using them in many different ways that all revolve around the peace sign in the end. I wanted to make it cute and have it also feel very modern, and all of these that can attract the adult nature that's the main demographic here. I didn't really end up liking many of these due to just the way the peace sign didn't do too much for it. Here's another continuing usage of the peace sign and logos and turning them into a mascot with type around it. The peace sign mascot didn't really work out as it's hard to make a mascot with so many lines in it and still give it a face too. It proved to be a big challenge as in many of these variations shows that the lines of the peace sign interfere a lot with the face, and when trying to simplify, it would only cause more problems. Here's my first, second, and final logo um, for my variations. The first one uses kind of like a ghostly looking peace sign. The second is more in a character shape for the P, and the final logo ended up being my final logo design. The final logo design here has a lot of qualities that make it feel very vintagey and modern at the same time. It uses the fortune cookie shape for the body and has a thumbs up to give it that peace feeling in my eyes. It also has a 70s style of type that also gives more credibility to the peace new age movement. This logo overall works for its demographic and can instantly draw eyes. Here's the logo in color. These are all my colors in the palette except for the accent pink and blue that I chose. It uses the brand's purple for the type and then a Chinese American palette of the toned yellow for the cookie and deep red for the outline boots. I feel this palette is perfect for showing what it is and the culture that it comes from. All my color explorations here are very indicative of the purple tone and has many different versions across all color types. The double complementary and pentagram colors are all influenced by my final palette, but overall it was a good experience trying out all these colors on my logo to see what works and what doesn't. Here's my identity design that uses the rock for body type, and then the backgrounds of everything uses a pattern that I created with the fortune cookie all across the business card. I feel this helps lend the fact that it's a fortune cookie business as well. It all works together to keep the business feeling modern, but using methods of the past to still bring in the main demographic. This can be used in any aspect, and I feel it works the best with the envelope design because it sets itself from other cookie businesses. This is my final color palettes that all use the same format. Some colors aren't used that much, but it accents the others in some capacity. The purple is the main tone, with the pink being an opposite contrast that just works. The blue is to complement the purple and makes it almost feel monochromatic. The yellow and red are there purely to keep the traditional Chinese American colors within the brand to keep within its respect. Here I included my own package mockup that shows the logo on a fortune cookie package and how it can stand out from other fortune cookies. The messaging also uses the same rock type as well. Here's my branding package design that I wanted to use the purple and pink as much throughout the entire thing. I think that the package feels super modern age, and with the added logo and type, it also takes it back to the new age line of products. I use the slogan of say goodbye to boring products, say goodbye to boring fortunes, and say hello to peace. Very big on the top of the box that will hold the fortune cookies, and I feel that it just screams millennial in its formatting and can allow anyone to catch on to it immediately. The yellow and red accent the purple and pink and just make it stand out a little bit more. This next package idea uses the same concept as the last, but inverts the purple and pink and red and yellow. I used in both packages a set of tiny fortune cookie designs across the whole package that lets it feel super nice throughout the whole thing. My final idea uses the blue in place of the previous color, but still using the purple tone across it all. I felt that this sidelined the pink color, but the blue can be used for other ideas. Overall, this idea was more of a test of how it'd look on the box. My final piece is mocked up in a restaurant setting with dimmed lights and features the main box and fortune cookie package directly in the center. I wanted it to feel homey and also feel like it could show up in any setting. The whole project is encapsulated in this photo alone, and I had a blast bringing it to life. If this was a real project at my age, I would 100% eat these and hope that my design would inspire others to eat and read these fortunes as well.